Hey, and welcome back to more Post to Post. We're doing another one of these dear insert company name that's over between us. Unfortunately, we are talking about Hyundai today, and I wanted to do one on a vehicle because it's something that involves everyone. It doesn't matter what sports team you cheer for. It doesn't matter what country you're from. Either you have your own vehicle or you have a parent that has a vehicle. You have contact with a vehicle.
You've likely been in a vehicle.
98% of people. So this is something that involves everyone.
Yeah.
And our first video was about Heinz ketchup, so food related. Lots of people share their stories down below. We're hoping that after you watch this video, you can share your story down below on a vehicle manufacturer, whether it's Ford, Chevy, Volkswagen, whatever, a bad experience that you've had with a dealership or a manufacturer or anything in the vehicle industry. So clearly, I already said we're talking about Hyundai, but this is a long story a little bit. It involves you, it involves me. I have it all written down here on a piece of paper. There's lots of points here.
Grief.
So, it actually starts with you because in 2007 you purchased a used Hyundai Santa Fe.
Correct.
And you had that vehicle until 2014, and
Okay.
then you got rid of it. What was your impressions on that vehicle?
I was okay with it. I thought for the price we paid for it, it was used when we got it. It was about 3 or 4 years old, I guess, when we got it. I was happy. It was an all-wheel drive. It wasn't overly expensive until the last couple of years to drive. But I tend to gloss over the bad parts and only remember the good parts about things. And that's not just vehicles; it's people. It's things I did in the past. That's the only thing that keeps me halfway sane, although some would disagree with that. But I don't have a hate on for them. Again, it was a used vehicle. We did get it from a Hyundai dealer, and the Hyundai dealer was in Miramichi, Trevor's Hyundai, and we had nothing but good things to say about them and how they handled the transaction. And we quickly moved out of the area and ended up getting most of our service work done here in Prince Edward Island at a different Hyundai dealer. And again, I have no major negative things to say about that either.
Right. So this is a video more about me than it is you.
Yeah, that's your channel. So it should be about you.
I guess. But just to speak on the Santa Fe, I really like the Santa Fe mechanically. Like engine wise, never an issue. We never had any issues with the engine whatsoever. The only issues we had which was in the last couple of years was brakes. It was like all wheel related brakes, calipers, rotors. We had a gas tank sensor issue or something like that. We ran out of gas one time. It still said there was a quarter of tank left, and we ran out of gas. So clearly there was an issue there. Other than that, there wasn't really any.
Not really.
Issues.
Like that Santa Fe, and I think it's worth remembering too that supposedly, and I know a few people who have more modern day Hyundais. They've bought new vehicles in the last couple of years, and I don't know if they're happy or not. I haven't really talked to them about it, but I think Hyundai generally has a reputation that's better now than it would have been 15 years ago.
Absolutely.
And our vehicle is from that 12-year ago, 15-year ago era, and even despite that, when Hyundai was a little more of a startup company as far as major automotive sales came, it was all right.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no new experience with a Hyundai,
and
you do.
That's the thing with this video. It's not just to complain about a company. I've already said positive things about Hyundai, and I'm going to say more positive things about Hyundai. But there's a reason why it's over between us, Hyundai, and I'm going to let you know the entire timeline of this. So the first thing was the Santa Fe. I wanted to talk about that first because that was our first exposure to Hyundai as a company.
Yeah.
Because of that, and because of my good experience with the Santa Fe, when it became time for me to get a vehicle in 2014, I was moving from Prince Edward Island to New Brunswick, and I needed a car, new job right away. I needed to get a car right away to get to work. I didn't really care what it was. I never really bought a vehicle from a dealership before. I didn't really know what I was doing. I just know that I needed a car. So the salesman that I found out later really, really conned me and put me in a really bad situation. I picked out a car, really liked it. I was living over there by myself. I didn't have anyone to haul around or anything like that. I wanted something that was going to be fuel efficient because I was going to be going to or back and forth between Fredericton and Prince Edward Island visiting and stuff quite a bit. So fuel efficiency was very important to me. So I got a little Hyundai Veloster, and which was great. That's the car I wanted. But he he talked me into getting a used one, which was a demo version, and didn't explain the interest rates and stuff as far as getting a loan for and the vehicle and stuff. When you buy new, you get a lower interest rate. When you buy used, you get a higher interest rate. So the loan in the vehicle that I got, which was used, I was actually paying the same amount of money for a brand new version of the same vehicle because of the difference in because I got a really crappy interest rate.
And the one you got was only like a year or two old, right?
It was a year old, yeah.
Yeah, a year old, yeah.
Anyway, he didn't tell me any of this. He wanted, I don't know if they get a bigger cut with a used vehicle or something like that. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I felt conned. I had a terrible deal. I didn't know that right away because I didn't know anything. I found this out later when I figured out what was going on. So 3 months after that, an engine. Oh, sorry. I wanted to show you a picture of the Santa Fe.
Oh yeah, isn't that cute?
Sorry, this. I meant to do this earlier. The only time that the Santa Fe didn't start is when I'll show you the picture. Is when the snow had invaded the entire engine bay.
It just happened to be pointed the exact wrong direction during a major snowstorm.
Yeah.
And the snow just blew right in the front grille and totally loaded up inside the engine there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is the vehicle I bought. I'll show you two there on the screen. And so, where was I? 3 months after purchase, the engine light appeared. So that's the picture that I took when it appeared. And ironically, look at the
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ooh.
So the engine light was on, and I went to the dealer, and they said it was a fan motor or a blower motor or something like that, and the AC didn't work, so they needed to order a part. A couple days later, they called me and said they can take the piece off of a Veloster on the lot and put it in mine. So I said, okay, sure. So I went in, and they installed a new fan motor or whatever it was. I can't remember exactly now. A week later, they called me back and said, the part arrived, can you come in and we'll switch it? No mention, originally they had made no mention that I would have to come back in after they installed it to swap again.
This is the dealership in Fredericton, right?
This is the dealership in Fredericton.
Yeah.
So I was a little frustrated with that, but I went in, they did it. 1 month later, the engine light comes on again. So I take it in and I say, it's the oxygen sensor. They ordered the part, and 1 week later, I took it back, they fixed it, yada yada yada, went away, and like a couple days later, engine light back on again. So I went back again, oxygen sensor. Okay, you just put a new one in there, but whatever. So I went through the same thing again. They ordered a new one, came in, whatever. So a couple months later, it's fall, I need new winter tires. So because of my previous complaints, and I made complaints to the dealership because I was really frustrated. It wasn't that the vehicle had problems with it. I know that there's little quirks in every vehicle. It's just annoying. Like the fact that I had to go back there like 3 extra times than I needed to get stuff fixed was the annoying part, because I had to like take a long lunch from work and get someone to drive me places, and because I had to drop out. It was just really annoying time-wise. So I had made some complaints. So they offered me a deal on some tires. So that was good of them to offer me a deal on some winter tires. So I got tires from them. So 6 months passed, and I come in for an oil change, and they try to get me into getting new cabin and air filters.
Oh, yeah.
And
Standard trick.
Standard trick, and this is around the time that I started to do research on vehicles and dealerships and all this stuff and what's going on, because I had been really frustrated. So I wanted to educate myself, and I realized that a lot of these dealers are saying that you need these things when you don't need these things. So I declined. I said, no, just oil change. Just do the oil change. I'll change the filters myself, or I'll look at them and then make a decision. So they did the oil change, gave me the vehicle back, and I popped the hood, and the inside your cabin air filter is inside your vehicle in your glove compartment in most vehicles. You can find it in there. So I looked at both filters, and I'll show you a picture. Perfect.
Looks pretty clean to me.
You can't even see a speck of dirt on it.
No.
I mean, come on. So right then I was pissed.
So that's the cabin or the engine filter?
I believe that's the engine filter.
Okay. It looked like...
And the cabin filter look
Yeah.
the same. I think. I don't remember. It was
Yeah.
4 years ago. So anyway. So I tweeted this photo at Hyundai Canada's account on Twitter. And roughly 4 or 5 hours later, they called me. They looked up my name on their filing system or whatever, and gave me a call. And they apologized, which was good. But then they said, what do you want us to do about it?
Well,
What would you answer?
I would have to think, but I would probably include, I want you to instruct the dealer or to reprimand or discipline the dealer for doing this, or fire the dealer or the mechanic or whatever. Like, it's not about trying to get free stuff for me.
And that's what I have written down here.
Yeah.
Contact the dealership, and I was pretty passive aggressive when I replied. I said, "Well, if I were you, I would contact the dealer, and not scold them, but
Well, yeah.
talk to them, and so this doesn't happen to someone else, because it's going to happen to someone else. It's probably already happened to someone else, and
Probably
it
happens every
shouldn't
day.
happen anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want anything. I don't want a free oil change. I don't want anything. I want you to not do it
Yeah,
to the next person.
exactly.
You shouldn't have to call me and ask me what you should do. That's your job. You should know what to do. I'm just a consumer. I don't
And
pick
if you
your
had a
job.
proper relationship with your dealer and trusted your dealer and they trusted you, it wouldn't have happened in the first place.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
with all of this stuff and this all happened within 8 months or something like that. I was just like, you know what? I'm done with Hyundai. So I kept the vehicle for another, I think, year and a half, and
But you were plotting the whole time.
I was plotting the whole time. I was educating myself
Yeah.
because I was made out to look like a fool when I bought that vehicle and got that terrible deal. So I wanted to make sure that the next vehicle that I got was going to be, number one, reliable. Number two, had a good resale value. Number three, I was going to be able to get a good interest rate on my loan. Number four, I wanted to negotiate and actually know the cost of the vehicle and what I could negotiate with. I wanted to become an expert car buyer, and I did. And over a year, I watched thousands of hours of video on YouTube, online, reading everything I could about vehicles, and figuring out what has the best resale value. All this, everything. I literally went to college.
Well, you
of
were.
Neil.
You were like a walking road and track. We would
Yes.
have conversations about cars, and let's say I was thinking of changing cars or something, and you'd be like, "Well, don't get the 2.4 liter. You want the 3.1 liter because that's better on gas." And it has, like you were like Sheldon.
I spent a lot of
in
time.
Big Bang Theory.
Too much time. An
Yeah.
embarrassing amount of time researching vehicles. If you need to buy a vehicle, let me know down in the comments. I'll try and help you with it. That's why. I'm not saying I'll never buy a Hyundai vehicle again, because there's things I like about Hyundai. The interior, I love the interior of most Hyundai vehicles, and it saddens me that I know that I'll never buy a Hyundai vehicle anytime soon. So if Hyundai's watching this, if I could say something to Hyundai, I would say, I have no plans on buying your vehicles anytime soon, probably within the next 10 or 15 years, because of what happened here. You can say sorry. You've already said sorry. That doesn't really change anything. I wish that things were different between us. I wish we could get back together sooner, but it's not going to happen. I'm with someone else now.
You are.
So, unfortunately, I will not be buying Hyundai vehicles. And this doesn't include you. Maybe
No.
you'll buy one.
I'm a
sometime.
free agent.
You are a
and,
free agent, yeah.
Currently I own a Toyota. I'm not dissatisfied with Toyota, but when it's time to turn in my vehicle, which is about a year from now, I will be very discriminating. I'll probably rely on you for advice. I'm looking at a few different kinds of vehicles, one of which is a Toyota, but I'm also looking at a Honda, and I'm looking at a Subaru, and a few other things, and we'll see. And I'm open-minded. So this is not a solicitation for people to come start banging the door down trying to sell me a car. But it's interesting that you're wearing, what color is your shirt?
It's red.
What color is your new vehicle?
Red.
You're wearing Detroit
Motor City.
Motor City.
But
So-
Hyundai is based out of Korea, I think.
Yeah, South Korea. So did you buy a North American vehicle this time?
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you happy?
I'm very happy, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're very, very happy.
Not a single issue with the vehicle that I bought. Incredible resale value. Because I bought a vehicle that had such a low resale value, I had to carry over negative equity. Something I didn't even know what that was before.
In the previous car.
So I had to carry over negative equity from my previous loan onto my new loan. I've had my new vehicle for less than 2 years, and that negative equity has completely been removed because of the retention value of the vehicle that I have is at the same level as what the loan is worth now. So I've completely eliminated the negative equity in less than 2 years, and the negative equity was just under $10,000. So that's what research gets you.
Ba-boom. And when you eventually move on to your next vehicle, whoever gets your vehicle will be very lucky because you look after this vehicle.
I do. I should wash it more than I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I take good care of it, and I've had zero issues. Not a single issue with the vehicle. Not one. And there's 32,000 kilometers on it. Not
You
one.
had one tire hazard thing.
Oh yeah, two actually. I ran over a screw and a nail.
Yeah.
But that,
Can't blame Ford for that.
no.
Yeah.
Anyways, let me know down below in the comments your experiences with dealerships or these manufacturing companies. Say you had a Toyota and you had a bad experience. I want to know about it. Please
Yeah.
tell me in the comments below. I want to know about all of your experiences. I want you to read other people's experiences and see if you've had similar experiences with the same manufacturer. So please spend some time reading down through the comments and seeing what everyone has to say.
Be nice to be thoughtful too. Just
Oh, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
BMW sucks. Well,
Be constructive.
yeah. Try to.
Because that's something that we try to do in videos, even when we're complaining here. But I'm trying to be constructive, and there's always positive with negative. Nothing's 100% completely bad. There's always positive you can find in a vehicle. But if you're thinking about buying a vehicle, let me know too down in the comments and tell me what you're thinking about getting. I like talking cars. I'm not into sports cars and all this fancy stuff. I like to talk consumer vehicles. So let me know down below. Thanks for watching. Thanks to you for joining me. Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know what's next. I think maybe CIBC, which is a bank here. We're going to talk some banking next on our next video. So, and let me know how you feel about this series as well. I know it's kind of a weird one to listen to someone complain for 15 minutes, but anyways.
Feels good.
Yeah, feels good for us, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a good day. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.